Another PMP exam prep question: where do I fit user story in a WBS scheme? Is it a work package, planning package, or something else? So my answer is it's something else. Now let me explain how. In a predictive life cycle, we start with collecting, working, aggregating, eliciting requirements, and you prepare a requirement document. Based on that requirement document, you come up with a requirement traceability matrix also, and then project teams start working on scope statement. They create a scope statement, and then they create a work breakdown structure based on the scope. So I have a requirements which are understood, kind of signed off. You can call them baseline. And based on those baseline requirement, I understand how I am going to meet, how as a project team, I'm going to meet those requirements. And that meeting is a project scope statement. And finally, I ensure that I must complete everything and I come up with a work breakdown structure, which ensures disaggregation or a decomposition of all those big items into a small pieces so they become manageable and they can be planned at the later stage as well. So that's the whole idea of a work breakdown structure. Now, the requirement document which you prepared speaks the users, stakeholders, the requirement language, the need of the people, whereas a scope work breakdown structure, the scope speaks the solution language, and the work breakdown structure speaks the language of the scope, how I'm going to implement the scope. So that's how we can probably understand this. Now, what happens in the agile world? So in the agile world, we are not creating project scope statement. Yeah. So the foundation which was used for WBS is missing. So what is happening here? We directly work with the stakeholder and we create a requirement document in a way. Now, requirement document is not something which we are baselining. It is not something which is signed off. It's an ongoing exploration which happens on a daily basis. And rather than having a requirement document, we can say we have a running list of requirements or running conversation of the requirement. And that thing is called product backlog. So the product backlog contains requirement which is coming from the stakeholder. So it or a users or whoever is a consumer of your product, and that's the need part of it. So the product backlog contains the need related elements. Now, these need related elements initially are of the big size because you may have a big needs, but over a period of time, you keep exploring and refining them. Whichever needs you want to work immediately in the next, say, 1 month time, week's time, you refine those needs in a small needs. So the small needs are the user story. So it is not a decomposition of scope. It is a still slicing the big need into a small need. User story is still a requirement. It is not a scope. It is not a way of implementing that. So what is the difference? It's not like I will have this tool which will be doing this. Rather than I need to talk about I as a user want to do something so that I get this job done. So I'm talking about my requirement. I'm not talking about the language of a tool or language of my scope, which is a scope statement language in many cases. So the user story is not a work breakdown structure element. So now somebody will say, okay, so do we really prepare a work breakdown structure in Agile? The answer is no, you don't. Yeah. So why? But you may talk about it. So the whole idea here is rather than dividing the scope into a manageable chunk, we keep dividing the requirement into a small requirement. In a way, we are disaggregating the requirement. It is just the disaggregation of the user needs rather than the direct scope. So in a way, the objective of dividing the big work into a small work is taken care in a backlog refinement. You create a user story out of it. Now, with the help of this user story, you want to create activities or tasks at the later stage, which you want to work on. And that happens during a sprint planning meeting. So when you pick up a user story, you may have some discussions related to various areas which need to be considered. For example, design, development, test related to that user story. In a way, you are doing that kind of a category level discussion. But since the discussion is for a very small element, that discussion directly get converted into a tasks. So in a predictive life cycle, we go for requirement, we go for scope, we go for WBS, and then we come to the activity/task. In the adaptive life cycle, we keep running and working on the requirement only. We keep making them small and reprioritizing them and keep understanding them without getting into scope and WBS. And once we have that slice of requirement prioritized and we are ready to work on it in a sprint planning meeting, we directly convert that into activities or tasks, which goes into our sprint backlog. So in a way, the way we understand WBS, the way we understand scope baseline, which is a scope statement, and WBS and all those details, these things are not relevant when we are working in the adaptive life cycle. We directly go from requirement to the task, but we do it incrementally. We don't do it for all the requirements because requirements keep getting prioritized on a regular basis.